Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. All right, welcome back to the Friday episode of Ho at Herb Oracle. We made it through the 9th week of Ho. The herb of this week was elder. Good morning. Guess who just recorded the podcast, You Know Borage? This girl with the thumbs. So that means I'm getting back on track. Yesterday when I did the Tree Guides podcast, I thought, you know what? I'm behind. I can't keep up with life. I think I might have to take next week off from Ho. But now I have hope for Ho. And I think that I'm going to be able to stay on track because I just recorded the Borage podcast, finally. Good job, Sadie. So anyways, welcome. We're live on YouTube. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me. A funny thing happened to me last night. So this is the kind of stuff that drives me bonkers. I felt like last night I wanted to pull a card from Witch's Kitchen. Witch's Kitchen. And guess who jumps out of that deck? Elderflower. And I'm like, what? That means that I did the elder podcast this week for Ho, and I didn't have all of my elder cards. And I was like, oh, that drives me nuts, right? Because I want to do everything so completely. And later. And I'm like multitasking hard right now. I'm live on YouTube. I'm recording the intro of Ho, and I'm talking about elderflower. So this card jumped out at me, and I was like, are you kidding me? I guess I'll talk about you tomorrow. Well, then as I'm sitting there, I look over at my 3 new tree decks, right, that are new to me, and I was like, oh my goodness, I bet you elder is in there too. So yeah, I have this elder flower card from Witch's Kitchen with a message of warding. The Tree Angel Oracle deck also had an elder card. Elder was our herb of the week. This beautiful elder mother. And it's just like, I just kept on laughing because I was like, yeah, of course I missed. So there's actually 4 more elder cards. Here's one. This one is really interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to hang out and we'll pull cards. And then maybe I'll do like a second segment for my podcast where I'm just reading this nerdy information for anybody who wants to hang out like extra long. And this one, it was incredible. Do you see the face in the tree? This deck, called the Spirit of Nature Oracle, it's the Green Man. It says ancient wisdom from the Green Man and the Celtic Ogham tree alphabet. But yeah, check out that face. You think you wake up looking rough? Check out this elder. So anyways, it was a good week at Ho. I think it was a good week. Despite so much love to you. Thanks for joining me. Despite all of the craziness in the world, we had Elder to hold our hand this week. She reminded us to go with the cycles of life, to honor them. That was our first affirmation from Elder. I am a goddess. Say it. Just say it. I am a goddess that honors the cycles of life. So big theme in the collective, of course, this week, honoring the cycle of life, death, rebirth. It's a big old cycle of life. So Elder also wanted us to access ancient wisdom. This is what I'm reading off of. This is my little notes. Know that we are protected and guided. So elder berries are a great antiviral herb, but just energetically too. She had a big message that if you're going to go into the unseen realms, if you're going to start working with spirit more and more, you can call on elder to be protected when you do that. She had a beautiful message that reminded us that we are both physical and spiritual. So if the physical world is literally just feeling a little bit overwhelming, remember that's only a part of who you are. Like, you are also spiritual. First and foremost, you are spiritual. You're just having a physical experience right now. And I think that's, that can bring great comfort to people, when they realize like, oh, okay, this physical body is not truly who I am. So Elder wanted us to think about that, and big time, she wanted us to focus on what we want to attract to us. So I focus on what I want to attract to me. And a lot of the times we are focusing on things that we don't want to attract to us, but it's just so hard to stop, isn't it? So yeah, I feel like there's a great reminder for us to slow the momentum, get back to basics, remember that we're spiritual beings, and create a magical life full of ritual and connection. So let me just grab the elder cards. There were a ton, even before I found these 4 cards that I'm going to add to my elder repertoire. There was this black elder with this beautiful teacup. It's an okay tea to drink. It's pretty good. Elder flowers here with this beautiful blue dragon butterfly. We spent a lot of time with this card because Wednesday we manifested more compassion. Well, we talked about it anyways. Hopefully we did that. Here's a card that honors the cycles of life with the goddess symbol. Winter, summer, spring, summer, there's all types of cycles every year. There's seasons. Day and night is a cycle. So she was talking about, hey, pick a cycle to line up with. Pick a cycle to jive with, and then practice it. So there is a lot of experience and wisdom to be gained when we actually practice something for an extended amount of time. Like, don't just wake up once with the sun. Keep doing it at least for a month and a half. Okay, so anyways, this card was cute. This elder tree, ancient wisdom. And we had a tarot card, death, honoring the cycles of that. So yeah, elder was a doozy. It talked about ritual. So we talked about the berries, we talked about the flowers, we talked about making an elder wand. I mean, the podcast Monday was like a solid 2 hours long. It was a solid 2 hours long, but how could we not? This deck, the Plant Spirit Oracle, had 2 cards. It had the dark side of elder and the hopeful, protective side of elder, elder definitely is one of those plants that needs to be respected. It's, some parts of it are poisonous. You want to cook the berries. You have to kind of know what you're doing with elder a little bit. So anyways, we really had fun. There was a message of change and then magic. So the priestess of magic too came in. And so anyways, if you didn't get a chance to sit with elder on Monday, it's there waiting for you for sure. But yeah, then to go upstairs last night and be like, cool, I'm going to catch up and do the Borage podcast, and then I'm going to do my elder podcast, and then have the elder card fly out at me haha, you missed me. And then me, the voice of reason, being like, wait a second, if it's in that deck, it might be in these other decks too. So yeah, we literally, there's no end to how deep we can go into elder. And that's kind of the message too. It's what are you ready for? But before you go deeper into elder, she does say you need to know yourself, and you need to know your energy, and you need to be secure in yourself before you go into these unknown parts, this magic. So there was a big connection to the fairies, the fairy realm, the divine mother. And like this card, let me just show you this card. See how she's like pointing of like, she's kind of scolding. There's this goddess on this card, and she's kind of scolding these men. Okay, so let me read you this charm that goes with this card. It says, a face is blushing and reddening from shame. Someone was wronged and someone is blamed. The glow of anger may bring a downfall. Retribution shall come as sure as nightfall. Oh, whenever I hold that card up to there, you can actually see me. Wait, I'll just hold a card right here the whole time. No trouble. Okay, so this oracle card is about consequence and regret. And like if you would get this in a reading, it might be like you feel bad for something that you did, or you know, you had like a moment that wasn't completely proud or caused you embarrassment. So it's kind of a harsh card to get, but it is, you know, it's saying make things right. If someone has wronged you, confront them, forgive them, heal, yada yada yada. You know the song and dance. But anyways, the symbolism and lore I found so interesting, because this is the goddess Macha, M-A-C-H-A. So this is a story about the goddess Macha on this elder card, about consequence and regret. And I'll just read you the story because, you know, it's what I do. So Macha, she married a mortal farmer in secret. All right. I feel you, girl. I feel you. Sometimes those mortals are just delicious. So she married this mortal in secret and told him as long as he didn't tell anyone his wife was a goddess, she would stay with him. Okay, seems like a fairly, like, you know, hey, I'm gonna be with you, I'm a goddess, you're a mortal, it's cool, but don't tell anybody. Okay, she became pregnant with twins. And easy peasy, right? And in her last month, her husband went off to an assembly. Okay, first of all, really? She's in her last month of pregnancy and you go off to an assembly? Okay, we're just gonna skip that part. See, I'm already mad at this guy. Okay, there was many competitions there. Apparently he needed to go. And one being a horse race. Her husband began to brag that his wife could beat any horse in the race, even the king's horse. I mean, back in medieval times, that was talking some serious shit, okay? Like, hey, my wife could beat any of y'all's horses. She could beat your horse. She could beat the king's horse. I mean, he's talking. He probably was drinking borage wine. I'm just saying. He was probably drinking some borage wine. They don't tell you that part, but I know he was. All right, so guess what? It's back in medieval days. They just didn't even have any class anywhere back then. They dragged Macha. They dragged her to the fair by the Ulstermen, even though she was pleading and she was about to give birth. They still dragged her to the fair. Okay? Feel her fury, right? Feel her fury. No one would help her. And she was forced to race the king's horse while in labor to prevent her big mouth husband, I added that part, from being killed for his bragging and insult to the king. Because back then, you couldn't talk shit about the king without off with his head, you know what I mean? So she's like, I'll save him, I guess, right? Because she didn't want her little mortal man to be killed. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, Matcha, you know? Anyways, so she was forced to race the king's horse while in labor to prevent her husband from being killed for bragging and insulting the king. So she was furious. Furious. She ran the race and won. And then proceeded to give birth to her twins before the stunned men, who probably realized at this point their error in judgment. You think? So here on this card, she's those two little sweet baby heads. She's holding her sweet babies. She just ran the damn race and won. And then, in front of all these idiot men, she gave birth to her twins. She then placed a curse upon the Ulster men that in their time of crisis, they would experience her labor pains. The men were unable to fight during the cattle raid of Cooley, and the hero Cuchulainn had to fight by himself while all the men were all in labor for days. So when the time came for their next battle, the only thing she cursed them with was the reality that she just had. So it wasn't even like she went above and beyond and, like, you know, cursed their children's children. She was just like, you're gonna just go through what I just went through. So anyways, that is Matcha. Feel her fury. Yeah, seems kind of fair, right? I mean, she's at home minding her own business while her husband, at the end of her trimester, is out talking smack. She has to go save his ass, run a freaking race against a horse, and then give birth to her twins because she was, like, ready to give birth. I think it's fair. I think it's 100% fair. So anyways, elder is associated with the goddess figure of the elder mother, which has been long associated and connected with witches and magic. So that is elder. And yeah, it's just really, really interesting how much I'm gonna put it in there because it goes on to another story. There are stories on stories on stories when it comes to elder. And that is why if you do go and harvest some elder, I wonder if I turn that light off. If you do go and harvest some elder, you do want to ask permission. You want to say, like, you want to ask that bush permission before you take from it. I mean, yeah. So anyways, I had not read that story before. So the other stories are kind of like repeated in decks, you know, like they tell the same ones, but I had not heard the one about Matcha yet. And yeah, I was like, you go, girl, you go. So anyways, that is the Great Mother. So anyways, thanks for hanging out. Let's pull a few cards and just see how everyone's doing. Let's pull some cards. All right, so we have a requested deck by my bestie, Asiel the Oracle, called The Keepers of the Light. We're just hanging out, chatting, and seeing what everybody's doing. Some people are babysitting, grocery store, and then an online yoga class. Kathy says she went to the grocery store. How was that? I'm just staying cozy today, but also just trying to keep my wits about me. Trying not to get caught up in any, like, too much fear-based. Asiel sent me a great card this morning about surrender. I think that's a good word for me today. Katie's up on the hilltop has lots too. Kathy, she's pretty stocked, I think, up there. So anyways, just gonna pull some cards, work on the Elder podcast, and then, even though I said yesterday I didn't think I would be able to stay on track with Ho, I think I got it under control, and I'll be back on Monday. If you need a reason to come back, guess what the herb next week is going to be all about? Guess what the herb of the week next week is? Perfect timing. It's going to be garlic. Garlic, and we're going to manifest more confidence. It's about time. All right, so sit up straight in my wrapper vest, and we're going to pull some keepers of the light and some flowers. So I think what we'll do is just do a group reading, and we'll just kind of like see what the message is coming in. I think, like, even though we're always like, I want my own cards, I want my own reading, what about me? Me. Like, this really is a time where it's like, we are all in this together. We are all one. Like, is that what this virus is showing us? Like, yeah, you guys are all in this together. Good luck. Look who's chilling at the bottom, Commander Ashtar. So I think what we're going to do first, it's not a botanical deck. It's called the Keepers of the Light, but Asiel and I love this so much, this deck. Kathy probably loves this deck too. Everybody who comes in contact with this deck seems to love it. So yeah, Commander Ashtar is on the bottom there. Our galactic commander, to which I say, is this really what we came here for? Is this what we signed up for? Earth mission. Can I get a refund? And he walked into your council. That is amazing. So anyways, I want to pull the Keepers of the Light and just kind of ask for some divine guidance. And then we're going to pull some Bach flower essences. Okay, like literally this card, I lifted up, the whole deck went like slow motion stopped, and this one on the top went like that to me. Like, here I am, here's your card. And guess who it is? Serapis Bay with Ascension. So what is all this really about? Is it just another excuse to find another herb for a new virus, or does this have something to do with our collective journey of ascension, right? Humanity is ascending, and it's getting pretty clear for the light workers of the world what's going down. So Serapis Bey, with his beautiful Egyptian garb, is coming in today with a message to move into your true self. And merge with your higher self, right? Move into your true self. That's what Elder talked about all week too. You are a physical and spiritual being. You are a spiritual being and a little bit physical being. So this little physical self needs to merge now with the true self. We need to go within. We need to meditate. We need to raise our vibration. We need to get out of our head. We need to get out of fear. We need to get out of our illusion, out of ego, and merge and connect with our true self. So that presence, that energy, that's who you really are. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. So there is a lot of darkness on the planet right now, a lot of darkness in our local lives maybe, and inside our heads for sure. Fear is darkness. And Serapis Bey is saying, rise above the darkness. The light is here. So it is perfect. Absolutely, Kathy. It is a perfect message to come in to remind us that this is all part of the process. The collective is clearing. We have a lot of things to address. We have a lot of trauma to address. We have a lot of stuff to let go, and allow ourselves to rise in frequency, rise above the darkness, raise our energy up, and move into our true selves. Now, are you also like me wondering who's on the bottom? I feel like we have to look. It is Faith. So who can hold our hand best right now? It's faith. Faith is coming through on the bottom with a message of humanity and benevolence. So Wednesday, when we manifested more compassion, I posted that link on my personal Facebook page, and it's saying, let's swap our corona fears for compassion. Then the next logical step would need to be, and have faith that you will be taken care of. Have faith that all is well. Have faith that there is a divine order to all things. And Faith herself is coming through on the bottom of the deck to say, stay calm. Stay calm. So I need her to just keep whispering that in my ear all day. I'm going to take some motherwort. But yeah, that's the best thing we can do right now, is to stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm. Trust the good in yourself and others. See the light in the world. So Serapis Bay is saying the light is here, and Faith is saying stay calm, so you're going to be able to see it. Stay calm and see the light in the world. I know I have chills too, Kathy. If you are a good person, and I know you are, tap into that energy that you're a good person, and trust in your goodness, and know that pretty much everyone else on this planet also is a good person, and trust in that as well, and start to see how beautiful humanity is. The news never runs a story on, hey, tonight's beautiful human in the world, right? Never. It never runs stories of what's right, what's beautiful, what's loving, what's connections. It doesn't run stories on how neighbors are networking, right? All it does is feed you negativity that lowers your energy, that keeps you in fear. It does keep you glued to the TV. You're like, oh my God, right? But like she's saying, you need to start trusting and believing and having faith in benevolence, in goodness, in beautiful, loving energies, right? So yeah, the light is here, and have faith and continue to see the light. Look for it. Yeah, look for those good stories. Seek them out, and experience them yourself. So yeah, my neighbor mama friend, Allison, yesterday or the day before, was that just yesterday? I'm not sure. Yeah, it was just yesterday. She asked me if I had any gardening seeds. I definitely had extra because my other neighbor mama friend, Sherry, had given me some seeds. So then I had some to share, right? So we did a swap. I got her some gardening seeds so she could start some seeds for her garden. And I gave her a room spray with essential oils because, you know, it makes you feel good and calms you down to have a good smelling space. And, you know, they're antibacterial, antiviral, and keep the air clean. So I gave her that. I let her know that I was out of salt. Like, what a thing to run out of. So she gave me a little mason jar of salt. It was a beautiful swap. That will never make the news. But there was such a beautiful connection in it. You know, that like we're there for each other if we need to be, you know. She let me know, she's like, for whatever reason, it just makes me feel so good that you're down there with all your herbal knowledge with all of this, you know. She's being inspired now to like connect more with herbs, and, you know, she always has a garden, you know, and a lot of people, you know, already do have gardens, but a lot of new people are being inspired to grow gardens and grow their own food. Because, like, dang, like, we are all bottle-fed bitches dependent on the grocery stores. And it's like we just had a little experience, like, oh, maybe we shouldn't put all our eggs in one basket and rely on that, you know. So anyways, this whole thing is a wake-up call for humanity. It's necessary. I don't even like thinking that it's necessary, but apparently it is. But also I feel like, there's also like a message like, okay, it is necessary and it is happening, but you can decide now as a deliberate creator, what do you want to focus on? What do you want to add to it? So yeah, do you want to get caught up in the darkness and the fear? No, you want to rise above that. You want to know that the light is here, and you want to look for it and see it and trust it in yourself, trust it in others, and for the love of God, stay calm. So yeah, that's Faith and Serapis Bay. Perfect cards. Oh my gosh. So anyways, I'll have to leave these guys out. I'll put a picture of them at Ho. Oh, let's take a drink. Let's calm down and do our elder affirmations. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our Herb of the Week, Elder, and I dedicate all these affirmations to you, beautiful, lovely. I am a goddess that honors the cycles of life. I access ancient wisdom. I am protected and guided. I am physical and spiritual. I focus on what I want to attract to me. I create a magical life full of ritual and connection. I am a goddess that honors the cycles of life. I access ancient wisdom. I am protected and guided. I am physical and spiritual. I focus on what I want to attract to me, and I create a magical life full of ritual and connection. And so it is. All right, so next deck is the Flowers Oracle by Antonella Castilli, and this is all flower remedies by the Bach flower essences. So, Edward Bach, he lived, back in, I want to say the early 1900s. Hold on, before I make any claims about Edward Bach, he was born in 1886 near Birmingham, and he became a physician in 1912. So anyways, the cards in this deck, the dresses that the ladies are wearing are in that time area. So they're all beautiful, beautiful ladies. So we will just pull, let's just pull like 3 flower essences and get the little teeny message, and just do our best today to stay calm and, do the things that make us feel good and secure and healthy, and then hopefully even go beyond those basics and do something creative. That's the goal, man. That is the friggin' goal. All right, so anyways, let's tap into these Bach flower essences. I almost wanted to say black there for a second. There might be a black walnut in here or something. Oh my gosh, hold on, I'm checking cards. I'm checking cards near Zen's rear. Well, hi Zen, how are you? Just grabbing my cards. All right, I feel like I gotta honor this one that was near Zen's butt, because it was face up. Like the majority of the chunk of cards was down, but this one was up, and it's Crab Apple, number 10. So we're gonna start off with the flower essence Crab Apple. Don't be crabby, right? She's wearing a white dress. There's these beautiful crab apple blossoms, white. Of course, they have that pink outer shell, so sweet. And it's number 10. So, number 10, Crab Apple. This is actually, usually, sometimes the little sayings are only like this big. This one's that big. So, The message is to look at your reflection in the mirror. I'm actually looking at my reflection right now, but you might have to move towards a mirror. So look at your reflection in the mirror. It is transparent and pure. You can stop your incessant cleaning and accept that reflection. Wow. So this crab apple says, look in the mirror and see who you truly are, right? You can stop your incessant cleaning and just accept what you look like. So crab apple is telling everybody to quit using filters on their selfies. Is that what they're telling us? But it's like, look, that's your face. It's perfect the way it is, right? Your skin is perfect the way it is. Like, you don't always have to be cleaning it up and covering it up and foundationing it up and eyelining it up, and like, you're beautiful, you know? Now, okay, yeah, just be what you be. Absolutely. Not that you can't play, right? I don't want to offend any makeup artists or makeup wearers, but why are you doing that? You know what I mean? Like, you have to definitely have moments where it's just you and you in the mirror. It's just you, and you just see your reflection and you take it for what it is, and you love it for what it is. You accept it for what it is. Okay, so first, crab apples having you look in the mirror, right? Next, it says, now look at the woods instead of each individual tree. So now you need to go outside. Now you need to go to the forest, or just metaphorically, I think you'll get this message. Look at the woods instead of each individual tree. Observe divine works and not a speck of dust. You are innocent and pure. There are gifts that are not lost, but merely forgotten. So you kind of have to like dissect and interpret these messages, but I think you probably can hear pretty good what it's saying. It's saying quit nitpicking, right? It's saying like, you know, like here you are in a body, this divine experience. You're a spiritual being that somehow freaking got a body, and you're nitpicking and focusing on one speck of dust instead of taking a step back and seeing this divine experience for what it is, seeing the beauty, right? You're like, instead of like stepping back and being like, there I am, I love myself, like I accept this beautiful opportunity to be in a body. Instead, we're like, what's that? What the heck? What's going on? What's going on here? Oh my God, what's that? You know, it's like you're being so distracted with like these physical things that we get caught up in. Now, of course, we can broaden this out for like whatever message we want to take it. You know, it's like, so it's like, okay, we're really caught up in this one stress right now, this one fear, but Crabapple is saying like, please step back and see the whole forest, see the whole woods, right? Keep stepping back. If my chair wasn't caught on the carpet, I would go the whole way past the bicycle. To let you know that it's like sometimes broadening our perspective, going general, just really trying to see life from a higher, broader perspective, see from Spirit's point of view. It can change everything. It really can change everything. So Crabapple definitely has a message to change our perspective, stop nitpicking, stop ruining the experience by getting caught up into one detail, when actually it's like when someone says like, I had a terrible day. Like, really? Was your whole day terrible? Or was it just one moment in time that you are incessantly hanging on to, that now the whole day sucked? No. Your whole day probably did not suck. It was just this one moment that you're using as an excuse to ruin the whole damn day. And Crabapple is saying, enough of that already. Enough of that. So anyways, that's the card that flew out of the deck and landed by Zen's butt. So take it as word. I also love that it says, of course, reminding us that we are innocent and pure. And we have gifts that are not lost, but merely forgotten. So now is like probably a good time, you know, in this journey of ascension, if we could chill out and see the broader picture and allow ourselves to open up. We do have these gifts that we kind of forgot about. And yeah, one of those gifts definitely is feeling connected to all things, right? You're not just an individual tree. You are part of the forest. You're part of everything. So it's like, yeah, like there's a lot of stuff for us to remember right now. But yeah, we got to get into the right headspace to allow ourselves to do that. And the right headspace to get into is actually your heart space. So, okay, let's have another flower essence. We don't necessarily have to chuck this next one out on the floor. Although it's a good excuse to stretch. Okay. All right, I'm going to do top, this one, and then the bottom. And then that'll be plenty of flower essences for us today. Thanks for hanging out. I hope it's cool that we just did a collective reading. But like now that like I'm seeing the messages come through, that was exactly what we were supposed to do, right? Just understand that we are all in this together. We're all one. We're just one big pot of soup, okay? Just one big pot of divine soup. At the end of the universe is just one energy, right? So let's get it in our heads. We're all in this together, really, and trust in that. Okay, so the one on the top, then the one in the middle, then the one on the bottom. The one on the top is oak, and guess what number it is? 22. Number 22, oak. Oh, I just have so much fun with that number now that I've defined it for myself. Now that I've defined 22, I see it and I laugh. But yeah, oh, look at her. Talk about stretching. You guys, hands behind your head, stretch up, put your chest out, just sort of like, you know, work your neck out a little bit. I know Kathy already did yoga, but listen to this. I didn't, right? So she's just like, look, what a surrendering pose. Her face is even like this. She's just like, what? Oak tree is goddess Athena's tree, says Asiel. Yeah, she's just like, what? So yeah, the mighty oak's strength. The oak grows so slowly. It's from this little tree, this little acorn, right? But it is so strong. It's just a symbol of strength. So let's see, all those S's and TH's tripping me up. Let's see what the flower essence of oak has to say. Of course, it would say, you are strong. You are strong and persevering. Tenacity is your best quality, even if you don't always realize it. Now you can loosen the reins, stop fighting the flow of life and the true needs of your soul. Enjoy flexibility. So this to me is the message, hey, hand it over to God, give it over to Spirit. Like at some point you're just going to have to let your divine helpers help you. So you are strong, you are tenacious, but are you fighting life? Because if so, that's a misuse of those gifts of yours, right? Humanity is strong, humanity is tenacious, humanity will survive whatever and get on with it and be strong and persevere. But for us personally right now, it's like loosen the reins, stop fighting the flow of life and enjoy yourself. and the true needs of your soul. What does your soul need? Okay, so we already know what our bodies need, right? We need food and water and toilet paper, right? Okay, fine. Physical being, step aside. What does your soul need? What does your soul need? Get out of your body. Stop focusing on your body all the time. That's what she was saying too, kind of. Quit nitpicking. Step back, step back, step up, step up. What does your soul need? What does your spirit need? What do you need energetically? There's only one answer. Love. Love. That's it. That's it. And it's like, oh my gosh. So it's like, if you're not cultivating that in your life, if you're not focusing on that, like, you're starving your soul, right? So of course you're gonna effing hate this life. It's when our souls are fulfilled. They're in that state of joy. They're in that now moment. They're feeling the love, right? You're connected to your true self, like Serapis Bey said. Move into your true self. Your true self is a being of love. So when you're in that state, you can really actually appreciate life for whatever it is. And in that state, you can have faith. And you can say, you know what? Everything's going to be fine. The way it is the way it is. All is well. I know I'm taken care of, right? I know this is just life, right? This is what we came into these bodies for. But this is not just what life is. Do you know? When you're in your soul, when you're in your true self, when you're in your heart space, you know that there is more to existence than physical life. And then you can digest that drama so easily. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Oracle cards. That's what I needed to hear. I needed to hear that. And I love, enjoy flexibility, because I'm really not a flexible person, like physically or mentally sometimes, but I'm getting better at that. And the more I get better, the more I enjoy it. Okay, we've got 2 more flower essences. But yeah, good messages so far. Okay, that was the top one. This is the one that was poking up that would not go back down in the deck. Dang it, I love this, because since we pulled this tree bush yesterday, I saw it last night, and now here it is again. It's gorse. It's the yellow gorse that we had with our tree guides yesterday is back again. It's perpetually yellow. It's perpetual sunshine. Look for the light. Believe in the light. See the light. And here we have gorse, sunshine, in flower form manifest. So it is number 13, the number of the goddess. And guess what she says? Yeah, yellow. Yellow. Since Asiel, the oracle, we did a meditation together where we pulled in my counsel, and were there yellow pillows on the couch or something that I was visualizing. But yeah, more yellow has kept on finding me since our moment together. Anyways, focusing on gorse, number 13, you're not even going to be surprised, because the first thing she says is change your perspective on the world and find peace again. I'll read it again. Change your perspective on the world and find peace again. So that goes back to faith. That goes back to looking for the good in people, trusting in benevolence, looking for the light, seeing the light, changing your perspective on the world. Don't continue to allow yourself to view the world with the lens of despair and darkness. If you continue to see a dark and dying world, you will not have peace. It'll be very, very hard for you to feel peace if those are the lenses that you are looking through. So Gorse says, and look at her stance. I love the way she's sitting. She's just like watching the world, right? But she's changing her perspective because she knows that it's like that's your interpretation of it. Yeah, I love her too. Change your perspective on the world and find peace again. So if you've gotten away from peace because you're just like, oh my God, then change your perspective and find peace again. You and your loved ones will come up with new solutions that have thus far eluded you. There are different paths to be taken. Just let yourself imagine them. The world will change color if you truly desire to do so. So this card is hopeful. It was popping up in the middle of the deck saying there are solutions that you haven't even thought of yet. Humanity is persistent. Humanity will prevail. As soon as you change your perspective, you're going to let some wisdom and guidance in there, and the world will change. You and your loved ones will come up with solutions that have eluded you, right? And it's like, don't think that there's only one path. Don't think that there's nothing you can do. You don't have to accept shit, okay? Like, I am just kind of a little bit slightly annoyed with people that are like, well, it's just the way it is. It's just the hand I was dealt. There's nothing you can do about it. Really? Do we have to call on Matcha? Do we have to call the goddess in? Like, yes, there is something you can do about it, always. You can change your energy. You can change your perspective. You can allow yourself to imagine a new path. And if you want the world to change color, it can change color if you truly desire it. And I think that's the big thing right now in the collective, in humanity. Suffering causes us to ask for wellness. Suffering causes us to ask for something better. So on a huge collective scale, humanity is asking now for love and peace and security and wellness and connection. They want to hug each other again. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can think of all the things that just totally suck with this, but look at what it's making people ask for. Look how it's rerouting energy and it's opening up new paths. Now what people have to do is entertain thoughts of that potential, entertain thoughts of what they want to see manifest in the world, and then be open to those new ideas and those new paths emerging. Thank you, Gorse. And our last flower that was on the bottom of the deck, thank you so much for hanging out with me, is number 35, which is like an 8. 35, white chestnut, and you guys are gonna love her too. White chestnut. She's just kind of like, right? She's got her hand up to her mouth. She's not following any CDC recommendations. And she's in this white dress with a really cool, like, blue chunky collar and a blue sash as a belt. All these dresses are amazing. I love, like, makes my wrappy vest, like my scratchy vest. I want to go put on a dress now. But white chestnut, let's see what she's thinking about. Like, she seems kind of like shy and timid, or like, I shouldn't, but I am. Let's see what her message is so we can get a read on that stance. This is so good. This is so good. Guess what she says first? Dispel your thoughts. Dispel your thoughts. They are not the only truth. They are not your guide. especially when they become repetitive mental chatter. Find calm in a steady rhythm. So what would that steady rhythm be that we could all find calm in right this moment? Our breath, our breathing. Bring it in for 4, hold it for 4, let it out for 4, pause for 4, bring it in for 4, hold it for 4, let it out for 4, and then just keep doing that 4. It's like a square. You can visualize a square too, like in for 4, hold it for 4, release, exhale for 4, pause for 4, and look, instead of having a chattery mind, we're just visualizing this square, this 4-count square breathing, right? We're creating a different rhythm for our brain, to think about something different. So yeah, great advice from the white chestnut to dispel our thoughts. You don't need to believe everything you think. They are not your guides. They are not the only truth. Whew. I just feel like white chestnut just dropped the mic. All right, so crabapple, oak, gorse, white chestnut, 4 incredible flower essences that just came through today to say the exact perfect thing for us if we've been feeling caught up in that mental chatter, if we've been caught up in that nitpicking, if we are just hands down feeling a little two-way physical. We are just feeling a little two-way physical. That's exactly what's going wrong. We've forgotten our spirit. We've forgotten our soul. And they've come in to ask us, what does your soul need? Your soul really needs for you to dispel your thoughts, to get out of your mind, and to find a calm rhythm inside of you so that you can calm down and know that the light is here. See that the light is here. Accept that light. Have faith and trust in your journey of ascension. Dang, that's good. Holy moly. Well, yeah, definitely a lift in spirits for sure when we come together and we hang out and we collectively focus our energy on the betterment of ourselves and humanity for our highest good and the highest good of the all. So anyways, did I say I was going to hang out longer and read Elder Oracle card styles blue in the face? I don't think so now. I think I'm just going to get going, get my body moving, get some fresh air, go walk in the rain, feel good, and then focus my energy on that next Herbal Marie Elder podcast so that I can come back here Monday and start week 10 with Ho. And yeah, next week we'll do garlic. I'm excited to have garlic as our herb of the week because every time that I say garlic next week, I'm going to say garlic. Woo! So much love to you and lots of garlic kisses.